Hi everyone, welcome back to Conceptual Thinkers Talk Primary Math Concept with Teacher Ben. Now, as you can see, we have tried to change the way that we do our recording of the video. So please let me know if it's a good improvement or is there any feedback that we can try to incorporate into the new video recording from now on. Okay, so now for today's question, right, we will be looking at one of the viewers' question. So my viewer actually want me to look at P6 Tao Nan Prelim 2022, Paper 2, Question 12b. So I actually wonder why the viewer want me to look at it. So after I take a look, then I notice the reason why. Now, when I try to look for this question online or from my other friends or sources, then I notice that there's a few variation of this question. So probably that's the reason why the viewer actually get confused. So probably let's look at the question now and see why there will be various versions and how to actually go about doing it. Without further ado, let's look at the question now. Okay, now you are looking at P6 Tao Nan Prelim 2022, Paper 2, Question 12b. So for the left side is source 1, which actually you can buy the soft copy online, and for source 2 actually from one of my friends who actually managed to ask around and able to get another source of this question. Now for me, when I look at my source 1, then I notice that there's some information that probably miss out in the diagram that can lead to a different answer for B part 1. That's why I ask around, and I do notice that for source 2, there will be some information that's actually deleted. So what happened behind the scene is when people get the source of school paper, they will first use app to remove some of the marking that was done by the student. So one of the possible reasons that we have two different sources can be, first, the erase of the marking was not done properly. Now second, it can be there's some mistake in the question. So during the exam time, the school may remove 12 part B. The third reason is the school teacher actually managed to identify the mistake while the students are doing the question. So they actually add in some information on the spot. So I believe that the third option is probably the reason why. So that's why if you look at the answer key for source 1 and source 2, for B part 1, they are actually different. So after analyzing the question, I feel that it should be some information actually missed out in the diagram, because I feel that it's unusual to set a question that have two not possible to tell as the answer for true false question. Okay, so based on that, I try to understand and think from the teacher perspective what they're trying to test on their student. So let's follow me and see how I actually perceive how the question should be. So from there, probably you can share with me what you think is the way that the teacher is thinking how to test the question, the student. So let's look at the question now. So first let's understand the question. So in the figure not drawn to scale, ACOB is a rhombus. Okay, rhombus. So which means that all the sides has to be the same and the opposite side will be parallel to each other. Okay, so CDEF is a parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram. So opposite side will be equal in length and they are parallel to each other. Now, if you notice that I believe this line was given to the student, not the marking from the student. I may be wrong, but I think that is actually given by the school teacher. Okay, now if you look at the statement, they say that ABO is twice of OFE. So ABO, this one should be twice of OFE. So let's call this 2A. So I will expect my OFE to be A if the statement is true. Okay, So let's try to understand whether it makes sense or not. Now, since this is a rhombus, okay, so I do know that this angle here should add up with my 2A to form 180 degree. Okay, so let's call this B for illustration purpose. And there's a few things that we probably have to assume. Now, if BOE is not a straight line, and FOC, FOC is definitely a straight line, but BOE is not given to us that is a straight line. So if this is not a straight line, I think there's nothing we can do for this question. So I believe that to make sense or to be logical for the teacher to test, BOE has to be a straight line. Okay, this is based on my opinion. So that means that FOE has to be B. Okay, now we don't have information about OE. Now I believe that it should be equal in length with OF and OC, because they want the statement to be true. If you look at source 2, so in order to be true, OE has to be equal in length with OF, so that triangle OFE is a isosceles triangle. Okay, so there's a few things that is based on what I think it should be. So basically this is my opinion. The first thing what I think it should be, we should take into consideration is OE must be equal to OF, must be equal to OC. So the question must somehow rather let us know that OE must be equal to OF and must be equal to OC. Now another information that I think they should also tell us is BOE is a straight line. Straight line. So they must tell us that they must be a straight line, so that I can use a vertically opposite angle to set my B as FOE. Okay, so let's say that these two criteria was given to us. Now we know that this is an isosceles triangle, so this means that this must be OFE and OEF must be angle A each. Then you may ask me, why is it so? Now if you look at 2A and B, so 2A plus B must give me 180 degree, right? Because it's an interior angle. So this is sum of angle in a triangle, so which means that A plus B must give me 180 degree. So this will give me 2A plus B equal to 180 degree. Now as I mentioned earlier, this is interior angle. Now this is sum of angle in a triangle. So that's why if they give us these two criteria, OE is equal to OF equal to OC, and BOE is a straight line, then the first statement will be true. Okay, now let's look at part 2. So they want us to know, I use another color to represent any things I've discussed for part 2. Now ACD, they are asking for this angle, ACD, because if it's the other side, they will probably say that it's a reflex angle, and I would say that unlikely it's asking for the reflex angle, because it's actually a primary school level, so they don't usually test on reflex angle. So that again is based on my my opinion on it. Next, must be equal to BOF. So it must be equal to BOF here. Okay, now if you look at FOC, that must be a straight line, so which means that this angle here must be 2A. Now there's a few reasons also. So one is an alternate angle, because 2A and this 2A must be equal. Another way to see is I should take 180 degrees minus away B, so that will give me 2A, since 2A plus B has to be 180 degree. Okay, so that's one information. Next, if this is 2A, ABO is 2A, then ACO also has to be 2A. Okay, now if this is 2A, how about angle OCD? So OCD we can calculate, right? You can just take 180 degrees minus away A. Okay, so let's look at angle OCD. So OCD will be equal to 180 degree minus away A. So actually 180 minus away A we can actually written as from here. So if I want to put 180 minus A, it's actually equal to my A plus B, right? Is equal to A plus B. Because 180 degree is equal to 2A plus B. So if we replace the 180 degree with 2A plus B, I'll end up with A plus B. So this is actually a A plus B. So let's put it in as A plus B. Okay, so here we can calculate angle ACD. So angle ACD will be using 360 degree minus away 2A minus away A minus away B. Okay, so what I'm gonna get is I'm gonna get 360 degree minus away 3A minus away B. Then now what is 360 degree? So 360 degree basically we need to multiply this by 2, right? So if I multiply this by 2, I will get 4A plus 2B plus 360 degree. So using this information here, I can actually replace my 360 degree with 4A plus 2B, plus 2B minus away 3A minus away B. So we can simplify this and we're going to get A plus B. So this will give me A plus B. So now let's look at the information here. So we have A plus B and 2A. Now the question says that these two angles is equal to each other. Now, do we know what is the value of B? We do not know. We also don't know what is the value of A. Now, without the information of A and B, in this case, this condition 2A is equal to A plus B can be equal if my A is 60 degree. So let's say that A is equal to 60 degree. This is based on what my assumption is. If this is 60 degree, now this angle here will be 120 degree. And my B has to be 60 degree so that they add up to give me 180 degree. So if that is the case, our A plus B here will give me 120 degree because it will be 60 plus 60, and here will be 120 degree. So if A is 60 degree, then this statement will be true. But let's say A is not 60 degree, is another angle, can be any other type of angles, then the answer will be false. Now since we don't know that A is 60 degree, so the answer for part 2 has to be not possible to tell unless more information is given to us. Okay, so yeah, this is how I perceive how the question should be and how should we handle this question if we have various important information that will be given by the examiner. So feel free to let me know what you think or your thoughts about the question. Maybe you can let me know the situation that actually happened during that time and some of the information that was given by the school. So that will help us to understand the question better. So that's all for this video, and I hope you enjoyed the video and give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. So see you in the next video. Bye.